over to these meetings, just kind of like this. It wasn't faith-based whatsoever. It was state-based. You know what I mean? So they had all these requirements you had to go through it. So I got over there, and I was in there with other people that did drugs. I was just drinking alcohol. So I got in there, and all these people were talking about drugs they were doing. You know, hard drugs, anything. Of course, me being me, I'm curious about this. So that's when I started so I went to rehab for alcohol, and I was introduced to drugs. So I started doing drugs 15 years old. The first time I took LSD, I was in high school. In class. I took it in class. I went through all day. My mom picked me up. I was 15 and a half, had my permit. I drive my mom home. I'm LSD. So I 40 years, I didn't believe in God. I didn't believe in anything whatsoever. Matter of fact, I'd make fun of people. Like, I've been to Marilyn Manson shows and big churches outside protesting it because he was the Antichrist. He believed he was the Antichrist. I've been to church maybe 10 times my entire life, up to that point. And the one that stood out the most, where I seen most of the Bible, was Marilyn Manson ripping pages out of it while he was preaching at a concert. So, but God has switched that entire narrative around. So, let's just say, I took the program to just get out of jail, basically, because the only way I was going to get out of jail is if they sent me to a program. So I took this program, and I remember walking in this church, and people were yelling and throwing their hands up. I remember thinking, what have I done? What have I signed myself up to? And I'm going through the motions. Oh, literally I've hung out with drugs since I was 15. I didn't make it through high school. I got caught with drugs in school. I was on KFBS 12 News because I got caught with drugs in school. I got a GED, but I got a PhD in toxicology. Yeah. That's what I did. There was not enough drugs in town for me to do that I wanted to do, so I would go to concerts and buy drugs. I've been to hundreds of concerts, because the drugs I wanted to do were at the concerts. Yeah. So literally, I'm just trying to let y'all know how bad I really was. So fast forward to this, I come to this program, and like I said, I just didn't get out of jail. I didn't believe in God. I've denounced God all my life. Look, right before I went to jail, I was getting high with a cauldron of witches. Literally a cauldron of witches. They go to their house, they wouldn't have no electric. They have weird symbols written on the walls. And I'd be getting high with meth with them. But God has completely changed that around. I lost my kids, everything. Meth took me down a really dark path in my life. And I come here to this program, and it's completely changed my life. I have faith in everything that I do, because I know there's somebody out there that loves me that I never knew. So I'm just telling you guys, if you really want to change your life, Jesus is the only way to change your life, because I'm living proof of it. Amen. If he's going to save a guy like me, when I was doing all that and denouncing him for 40 years, he'll save anybody. Amen. If you just want to. Amen. And I had to have proof that God was real. So this is how Jesus works. I had a buddy, a lifelong friend, overdosed. I was in the program. And, literally, I think it's the first job I did out by myself. And, I'm getting messages from my friends on my phone. And they're saying, telling me about my friend that overdosed. By the way, that's the 14th overdose friend I had in my life. 14. So that's one about every 3 years. They told me about my best friend, one of my best friends. I had seen him 2 weeks prior to this at a gas station and told him there was a better life out there. Because I felt something when I came to church here. I felt something. And I couldn't talk no sense into it. And the day he died, I had met a guy here at church that was, he had a learning disability that a guy brought to church. And I'm in Bloomfield, I'm in the car that he gave me. And I've already decided I'm gonna go get high with my buddy. For my buddy that died. I don't know why, what would make you think that, because I've always got high with this guy. So I'm like, I already just made up my mind that I'm gonna go get high. I'm gonna take his news card, he's got me, let me be, and I'm gonna go get high. I'm trying to eat lunch, and I'm thinking about going to eat lunch in this place right across the road from my work. I think about it a couple times, I don't go. Think about it a couple times, I don't go. Finally, I go over there. And this guy that I met at church here was coming from the dentist, 45 minutes away. So the odds of me running into this guy is astronomical. That I'm gonna run into this guy at this moment in my life. That I'm struggling with believing in God, using drugs, my buddy. I get in the restaurant and I see this guy pull up, and somebody's just waving big as they can. And I'm like, oh, who's this? The guy gets out, he comes over to me, gives me biggest hug, like I was his best friend. He says, "You still going to church?" First thing out of his mouth. First thing out of his mouth. Swear to you. You still going to church? Right then, I knew I'd been wrong for 40 years. Because there's no way that our paths would cross. When I just met him at this church, that was all the proof I needed that God was real.
Thank God for Clarence.
Amen.
Thank God for Clarence.
Yeah, Clarence, that's his name.
Yeah. Love you, buddy.